Okay, so today will be a weekend update combined with some college football analysis and summary. So basically, this weekend started out with me going to Tech Saturday, which is a thing like a play practice for my school that also involves the tech groups, which are like crew and costume. Um, yeah, so this is usually pretty fun. I was a little not angry, but I was a little disappointed in this the scheduling of this Tech Saturday because it like directly conflicted with the Michigan State Michigan game. But I actually got to watch a significant portion of that through the Watch ESPN app at the school during the play practice whenever I wasn't practicing my part. So yeah, so that was good. Let's just jump right into that game. Michigan 32, Michigan State 23. I was a little disappointed that Michigan didn't score more and Michigan State didn't score less, but it really was a domination. It was just there are some garbage time scores by Michigan State. And I think our defense is definitely number one in the country and should be able to shut down most opponents, which leads me into another game, the one I actually went to, FSU versus Clemson. Clemson, their offense played relatively well, but Deshaun Watson did make a couple key bad reads and turn the ball over twice. Honestly, FSU, even unbiased here, 100% should have won that game if it wasn't for the officiating and a ridiculous chop block call. We would have easily walked out with the W. But we took the L because, first of all, the officials have no competency and don't know what the definition of a chop block or an illegal block below the waist is or how that looks. But no, Clemson played relatively well. Dalvin Cook, our best player, is the best player. On our squad for since Jameis, honestly, and he deserves to win the Heisman. He is probably college football's best player, or at least second to Jabril Peppers of Michigan, who is their best player and honestly probably the best player in the country. But Dalvin Cook is the best player in the ACC, and he is the best running back in football right now in college football. And it was just such a disappointing loss. I didn't cry after it. I haven't cried since Oregon in 2014. But it's still just totally insane, and we should have won the game. But anyway, so off of that game, I just took out of that game that Clemson is going to get destroyed by any team with an O-line and a defense, because our O-line is absolute trash. They're garbage. They do not know how to play football. The Child's offensive line makes less mistakes than they do. I mean, it's a disgrace to our program. The defense at times was really good, but at times was awful. And anyway, moving on from that game, Clemson will probably face Virginia Tech in the ACC championship game, so that should be a very interesting game. I would actually now probably pick Clemson to win barely and then get blown out by either Michigan or Alabama in the college football playoff. Some other interesting scores from around the league, or from around the NCAA, I should say. Washington beat Utah by a touchdown. It was a special teams touchdown, but those count the same as regular touchdowns. And they look like a legitimate contender. They will almost surely make the playoff unless there's some crazy hiccup down the road. Ohio State barely won against Northwestern, so that was interesting. And I think that Ohio State's really, really vulnerable, and that we'll get them this year if we beat Michigan. And we should beat them and advance to the college football playoff. So Alabama, Michigan, Clemson, and Washington will probably be the four contenders for the championship. This season for FSU was disappointing, but we're going to come back next year, hopefully stronger. Our starting safety was out, Derwin James, and that made a huge impact just in leadership, and obviously he's one of the best players in the country. So moving on from college football, this Sunday I've been just working on homework for a while, trying to memorize lines, and watching the Patriots. Right now, I'm really impressed with their performance. so far, and it's 38-17. So we're winning by 21 points. And we're just killing it. Tom Brady is doing great. I think he has 4 touchdowns right now. Here, let me check real quick. Anyway, yeah, no, Tom Brady is doing really, really, really well. So yeah, we should be doing pretty well throughout the season, the Patriots, and Tom Brady should be the NFL MVP, but Roger Goodell suspended him for 4 games. As you all know, it's Deflategate. And in the back right there, I'm not watching the Bucs game right now, but I'm recording it. And I'm going to watch it later. So hopefully we're doing really well. Jameis is maturing, but also I think he's just digressed a little bit in really the talent around him. It seems like he hasn't really digressed at all. He hasn't gone back at all, but it's just I wish that he would make some smarter reads, but he needs better players around him. The trade deadline is in 2 days on Tuesday, 4 o'clock I think Tuesday, so we should be doing pretty well. Okay, so now I just got up that score, and it looks like Tom Brady has 4 touchdowns. So we're doing well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and Blunt has 1 touchdown run. So we will walk away from that one, and it's the start of the 4th quarter. But yeah, no, it's pretty good day. The weekend so far has been good, but man, that FSU loss, I can't really stop thinking about it just because we honestly should have won. The referees cost the game. But I'll be happy today. As long as Brady, comes up with the dub, I gotta be pretty happy. And he will, because it's 38-15. Yeah, so this YouTube channel is still maturing. I still don't know really what I'm gonna do with it. Probably do some life stuff, what's going on, and also like football and updates with the play, which is The Curious Savage by John Patrick. I don't have the script with me right now, but I'll show that to you guys in a later episode. That's going to be November 17 through 18. A quick election update. Let me just look up what's going on in the election. James Comey, the director of the FBI, released a very vague statement about Hillary Clinton's email scandal being reopened, which I thought was just, it's not true, by the way. The investigation was never closed to begin with, and Anthony Weiner, the guy who's being investigated for sexting some kid, totally unrelated, it was part of his investigation just because he was married to the wife of Hillary, so it's vaguely connected to Hillary, and he really shouldn't have been disclosing that sort of information with the public the way he did. I think he is actively trying to sway the election one way away from Hillary Clinton and honestly towards Donald Trump right now. So right now it's looking like it's getting a little closer for Hillary, and I don't understand it. It makes me a little angry. But yeah, like Florida is now moved from lean Democrat to solid Democrat to lean Democrat. 58% chance that Hillary wins Florida. It's looking like Trump will probably win Ohio. I still think that Hillary's going to win by at least 100 electoral votes, but we need to get out there and vote. I wish that I could vote. I will be canvassing for Hillary in the coming days, going around trying to get Democrats to get out and vote, because we can't bear another a George W. Bush type presidency, especially with Donald Trump. And so right now it's looking okay in the Polls Plus forecast. It's by 538.com, which is where I figured it out. 76% chance that Hillary wins, which is good, but I want it to be a blowout and a resounding statement that Donald Trump's kind is not welcome in our country. So anyway, we're about to hit the 10-minute mark. These videos, I'm going to try to get to the point quicker and like write down what I'm going to discuss, but props to you if you made it this far. I'm going to try to release videos every Sunday or at least once a week. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Go Patriots, go Bucks, go FSU, and as always, go Blue.